interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With
John
ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Welcome to the ThinkSoJoE Show. As you can see, John is not ready in his chair. He's on the way. He's stuck in traffic, which is hilarious to me because today I wanted to talk about travel nightmares, travel woes. If you've had trouble traveling, we're going to talk. I put out on Facebook the other day asking people for their, travel stories, travel horror stories, because I basically lived through one this past weekend. And I got a bunch of great responses, and we'll talk in the chat too with you guys. John is currently stuck in traffic. That's the irony of the whole thing. He'll be here. I love Laura pretending to be John in the comments as if John knew how to type. Anyway, yeah, I just got back from New Jersey, and I was almost stranded there. Basically, I took the train into New York. That was the plan. Train into New York and then bus down to Jersey, drop my stuff off, and then take off, go over to East Rutherford, to MetLife Stadium for the Metallica show out there. And, things did not quite go as planned. I was expecting to get to Metallica way earlier than I did on Friday night. But Amtrak and CSX, the other railroad company, they had other plans apparently because, first of all, I gotta say, traveling via Amtrak, great, love it. Like I was in Rochester in an hour, and I was in Syracuse in 2 hours. So to my friends in Syracuse, I'm coming to visit you guys more now that I know I can get out there that easily. However, once I get past there and I get past Utica, where I have other friends who also live, it's going to be, John's going to train to be an accountant. Sure, I'm sure. Anyway, so we get to Amsterdam, New York, and we get the announcement over the PA. Folks, we're going to be delayed. There's a CSX train that went off the rails ahead of us, so we're going to be delayed. We don't know what the situation is. We'll update you as we know. So we pull into Amsterdam station, and a bunch of people get off the bus, including like the girl that was sat next to me. And I'm looking out the window, and I happen to see that she's out there talking to a dude in a fish t-shirt, and that there's a bunch of other people out there waiting, to find out what's going on, wearing tie-dye t-shirts. I see a bunch of other fish t-shirts. Turns out Fish was also playing in that area. They were playing at Madison Square Garden. Apparently like 7 straight shows or 10 straight shows or something like that, with the last 2 being Friday and Saturday. So I was on a train to New York with a bunch of fish. They call themselves fish heads. So I've learned. So I'm on the train with all these fish heads. I'm like the only dude in a Metallica shirt on the whole train rather. And John's gonna be a lawyer. Anyway, so we're just waiting. They're telling us, well, we're going to get you buses. Like, okay, cool. So we're waiting for these buses. They're like, yeah, it might take a while because it's a Friday. If it was a Wednesday, they'd be here by now. But because it's a Friday, they're all doing like tour things and everything. The Living Brain Dead's already a rap group. I don't know why you're, see, this is how I know it's not John, because John knows that we're already a rap group. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, so we were in Amsterdam. It took 2 hours to get a couple of buses to come pick us up. The buses took us into Albany. That was an hour drive. And then once we got into Albany, we're sat on the track for an hour, waiting for all the other buses to show up. So by the time I get to Port Authority, in New York, it's like, all right, how do I get to my Airbnb? I need to do this as quickly as possible. I got into my Airbnb shortly after 6 o'clock, which is when the show was starting. So I literally dropped off my bags, called an Uber, went straight to the stadium, had him drop me off outside the stadium so he didn't get stuck trying to get out of the stadium. And, I got in and I could hear Pantera as I'm walking up to the stadium. Pantera-ish. That's what my buddy Jason was calling him, and that's pretty much what it is. But yeah, it was, I walk in, I hadn't eaten since like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I walk in, got a hot dog, got a bottle of water, went straight to my seat. I got to see the last 3 songs of Pantera-ish, and finally, I did at least get to see all of Metallica. So I made it in time for that. It was about this time Friday, I got to my Airbnb. Look who's finally here.
I'm back.
Look who's here. We're literally, the topic of today's show is travel problems, and you were stuck in traffic. Mm-hmm. You gotta, let me get your mic here for you.
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. There it is, it's on, there you go. Actually, I'll let you put that on before I unmute you. So, I'm telling the story of me getting stuck in Amsterdam the other day, trying to get to New Jersey, which really sucked. And I, finally got into New Jersey at like 6 o'clock and able to get to the stadium just in time for Metallica.
Laura, you're an imposter.
I know, right? She's in here saying like, oh, can we make the Living Brain Dead a rap group? I'm like, John already knows the Living Brain Dead's a rap group. We've been a rap group.
Yeah.
We should be on this hip hop. We should be on this concert Friday in New York City at Yankee Stadium, the hip hop, the 50 years of hip hop concert.
Oh, really?
I really want to go. I just don't have the money to do it. Like
old school?
Like Run DMC is headlining it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Run DMC's on it, Snoop Dogg's on it.
Shit.
Like I think Kendrick Lamar's on it. It's like literally like 50 years of hip hop artists.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I am like it's like Friday. So I would have to figure out how I'm getting to New York, how I'm paying for the tickets, how I'm getting home, if I have to stay out there. I'm not trying to do all that, especially after the shit I was going through this week. Mm-hmm. I was telling the story of me getting into New York on Friday, which sucked.
I'm here. I did not see.
Yeah. Which sucked. And then Saturday morning, my plan for Saturday was to go to the Museum of the Moving Image in Queens. So my plan was to get up, get on the bus, go to New York City. Well, I get up, I go to the bus stop, and I figure, well, it let me off across the street, so the way back has got to be on this side of the street, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm standing there, I wait for the bus, I see a bus, I get on the bus. I'm not thinking anything of this. I'm not paying any attention to where I'm going because the last stop on the route is supposed to be Port Authority in New York, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there, I'm just looking at my phone. Next thing I know, I look up and I see the little display on the bus and it says, now arriving at the Hackensack bus terminal. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think I'm supposed to be in Hackensack. And sure enough, I was not supposed to be in Hackensack. I got on the wrong bus.
You got on the wrong bus?
I got on the wrong bus, so now I'm in Hackensack, New Jersey. And so I'm like, how the fuck do I get to New York from here? And it's like, you can't Uber from like Jersey to New York because it's like really expensive. Like you could be like on one side of the Lincoln Tunnel, call an Uber, and it's still gonna be like $50 to get just across the Lincoln Tunnel because drivers don't want to drive that. It's so much traffic, right? So you got to take the bus or a train. I don't know. I didn't know where to get the train. I knew where the bus was. So I ended up getting off the bus and I'm like at this bus stop and they got, text this number to see when the next buses are coming. Like, all right. So I text the number and it's like, oh, the 160 to New York City. Like, hey, that's the one I want. So I get on the bus, finally I don't even know what the fare is going to cost. So I get on the bus. I'm like, dude, how much money do I need to give you? He's like, oh, $4.50. I'm like, I'll put in $5. He's like, oh, I'll give you change. Like, oh, that's right. This is New Jersey. This isn't Buffalo. So I, paid my $4.50. I finally got to New York. That's what I've been saying.
I know.
It's exactly what I said. Anyway.
Oh, welcome back, Laura.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get to New York, and it's like, okay, now I got to take the subway to Queens.
Yeah.
Right. So I know, like, I know that I have no idea where the fuck I'm going on the subway. Right. So I knew, like, I had Google up, and it has like all the stops like that you'll pass to get to where you're going. So I got that pulled up. I get on the rail, and I see, like, as soon as it starts heading to the next stop, I'm like, oh, I'm on the wrong train. So I have to get off the train, walk across, and get on the other train going the opposite direction. So that wasn't too bad, right?
Yeah.
And I got to Queens, and it was great. I got to see the Museum of the Moving Image, where they have a Jim Henson exhibit. And I know you wanted me to send you a picture of Animal, but they didn't have Animal.
How do you not have Animal?
They had other members of the He's on tour with the Electric Mayhem, clearly.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah.
but they didn't have Animal, but I sent you a picture.
You're an imposter.
I sent you a picture, and I was like, well, I couldn't find Animal, but I did find my childhood friends, Statler and Waldorf.
Oh, you found all those guys. Big Bird.
Yeah, Big Bird. I was hanging out with Big Bird, and Elmo was there, and
Elmo.
Grover and all them, like Kermit the Frog. That was great. It was great. And then, like, I went and wandered the rest of the museum, and they had, like, all kinds of different exhibits and, like, a whole wall of, like, vintage microphones. I'm like, ooh, vintage microphones. Like, and then,
Record stores?
Huh?
Check down the record stores?
I didn't get to go to any record stores. I didn't have time, honestly. But I did. But yeah, I after I got back from Queens, I wandered around New York City a little bit, just through Manhattan. Specifically, my goal for the day after the museum was to go to Best Buy.
Yeah.
Because when I was in, because I got the email from MetLife Stadium, and they're like, "Here's how you do." Here's what's allowed in the stadium, here's what's not, right? And it's like you can bring in a phone charger, like one of those power banks, like I always bring everywhere.
Yeah.
You can bring a power bank, but it has to be no bigger than the phone itself. And you know how big my fucking power banks are, just slightly too big. So I'm like, I'm not going to take the chance. So Friday night, I didn't take a power bank with me. And by the time I got back to my Airbnb, I was at 15%. Like, that could have sucked way worse. I could have been stranded in Secaucus. All right, but luckily I wasn't. My goal for Saturday was actually to get a smaller power bank, and I got one. And the problem was, that thing sucked. I mean, it did its job. It got me through the Metallica, like the whole day, Sunday. But that thing, like, it was basically dead by the time I was done. As opposed to, like, the big black one that I brought to Nashville. I charged my phone the entire way home from New York. That entire bus ride. And it was still at 4 lights. 4 LEDs on the thing, like, at full charge. So, like, yeah, that little one sucked. But the shows were great. The shows were amazing. Saturday night, I got to see a band called Tiger, who are a local band in New York. They're like a jazz band, and their saxophonist is my childhood friend, Lynn. Yeah, Jill thought I died. Jill was legitimately worried that I died because apparently there was a bus crash somewhere in Pennsylvania and people died, and I was going through Pennsylvania at the time. Like, I woke up in Scranton. I'm like, why am I in school? How am I in Scranton? I thought I was going to take the 90 West back. I thought it was going to be like the regular Greyhound route, going back up through like Syracuse and Utica and Rochester and all that. But no, I went through Pennsylvania, and it was supposed to be way faster. And then it was like, John, how long does it take to paint your arm every day?
I'm not answering that question.
Anyway, Living Brain Dead better be playing in New York City in April. We're trying. I met a whole bunch of musicians out there, man.
We had a crazy night Saturday.
Yeah?
Saw Joe play a show.
Yeah, I heard.
Rocked out Grace's booty shorts.
You did what?
Yeah, Shane wore Grace's booty
Oh,
shorts
jeez.
on stage. It was like, oh shit. Well, he doesn't do this in our band. What the fuck? And then me and Joe goes walking to Tudor. And we see a naked guy in Chippewa.
That's not that odd.
So the cops
I mean,
stopped
usually it's
him.
naked women running around Chippewa, but yeah, still.
Then I ran into the Clockers and said hi to them. Then we went back to Mohawk and saw the rest of the show. It was a fun night.
I would have probably hung out at Mohawk that whole night. Like, I love all the bands that were playing at Tudor, but all the bands that were playing at Mohawk are friends of mine, so I would have chilled there. But I went out, I saw my childhood friend. I hadn't seen her in 24 years. So after the show, we went and hung out and like, you know, I got to meet her girlfriend and all her bandmates, and all her bandmates are from Buffalo, which is crazy. And I met this Chinese kid that's like she's mentoring him.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, he's a horn player, and so she's his mentor. He was like, what state is Buffalo in? I'm like, it's in New York. He says, oh, you know, where? And then he pulls up his Google Maps, and I had to show him like where it is. He says, that's where the Buffalo food comes from, right? Like, yeah, that's where chicken wings come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I had a great time, man. Just hanging out and, you know, meeting all these new people, man. Like, it's so great because I never learn anybody's names. There was like one person through the whole like Metallica weekend that I actually like got like learned their name, you know. But yeah, we were, you know, it's funny because like you go to these Metallica shows, and the running joke with me is like you never meet anybody from the actual city you're in. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, a couple of people shattered that this time, so that was cool. But yeah, I met people from, like, Tampa, Florida, from Boston, from a bunch of people from Virginia. I met...
What, Joe? There's a toll.
So Laura says she should travel to Buffalo. She could visit stuff in Buffalo. She asks if WWE Niagara Falls is still there. It is not. And Jill says, in order to enter Buffalo, there's a toll. It's John's dick.
Oh, God.
I don't know. But yeah, I met people from, like, you know, Pennsylvania, from Ohio, from everywhere, man. I finally met somebody from New York City. It was like, oh, my God, somebody who actually lives in the city where the show's happening. And I met a dude from, like, Iran. Like, I mean, like, he lives in Chicago, but he's originally from Iran, and he's like, I'm here for Metallica. Like, yeah, cool. But yeah, it was, you know.
I knew you'd make friends out there.
Of course I make friends out there. I don't even, which is crazy, because I never talk to anybody, but, like, when I'm there.
Oh, Joe. What am I going to do with you?
Oh, man. It only pays in euros, though.
Anyway, fuck you, Joe.
Anyway.
Oh, it's good to be back.
I mean, Laura's coming home from England, right, for this trip, so, you know, euros might help. Anyway.
Is WWE in New York still a thing? Still around? No.
It is not, no.
No, that died a long time ago.
I'll tell you what, man, I got to see FAO Schwartz finally, the toy store. Yeah, I was walking around Saturday just, you know, trying to kill time between going and seeing the museum and going to see my friend play. So I was just, like, wandering around, you know, Manhattan.
Did you check out the hotel where Home Alone was?
No. Dude, you know how expensive that place is?
I know, but it's so cool.
Ridiculous. I did
walked
not
past it before.
I have not. I will have to check it out. But I literally, like, I was walking all through Manhattan and just, you know, I saw, like, Radio City Music Hall. I went to FAO Schwartz, which was actually Duncan's toy chest in the movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it was also the...
That's still a thing?
It was also... I don't think it's the same location, honestly.
No.
I think it's actually been moved. I meant to look that up, and I didn't.
It's still Duncan's? Is it still called that?
No, it was never called Duncan's. It was just for the movie. It was always FAO Schwartz.
Oh, okay.
Which is also a prominent location in the movie Big with Tom Hanks. Which I don't know if you saw my posts. I got a picture of the giant piano from FAO Schwartz. It's up on the second floor, and then there's a Zoltar machine like diagonally across from it. So I actually, oh shit, did I bring that home?
What?
I've got the card from from the Zoltan machine, and I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I set it down on the table, and I don't know if I ever put it back in my pocket. Let me see. I might have it here. There it is. I got my Zoltar. It's not gonna focus because our faces are in the shot, but yeah, it ain't gonna focus. Zoltar speaks. It says, "Your fortune. Round and round the ball will spin till it draws your good luck in. Ah, I can foretell for you good luck in a month or two. The crystal gazer has wonderful things in store for you. A dear one will return from a long trip, and your whole life will be different. You'll have a patient disposition, and your patience is about to be rewarded. Despair not, I say, for your days of despair will soon be over. Your calm spirit and your good sense will see you through all emergencies. You have many friends, particularly in the armed forces." What the fuck? Anyway. "They are loyal to you, and they are glad of an opportunity to be of service to you. Play again. FAOschwartz.com for entertainment purposes only." But no, I really think it's a different location. Laura asked if it was the same as in the movie. I really think it's a completely different location. Like, I think they moved it over there. Like, I think it closed at one point and they reopened somewhere else. So then the next day I left super early to go to the Metallica show because I knew there was a mall right across the street from the stadium. It was the new American Dream Mall that replaced the Izod Center that used to be there. I'll tell you, as soon as I walked in the tunnel to go across to the stadium, after I got dropped off Friday night, I'm like, I know this fucking tunnel. I was getting WrestleMania 29 flashbacks of having to walk around that entire fucking Meadowlands complex. But yeah, I fucking, but yeah, I got there super early. I went to the mall. I'm wandering around the mall. I look up. I happen to see a whole line of Metallica fans. There's a Metallica pop-up store in the mall. I didn't know that was where it was. I knew they had one. I didn't know where it was. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna go check that out. So I get in line. I'm hanging out with like this family from Virginia, and we're looking at all the shirts they have in there. They didn't have the actual like East Rutherford shirt. You had to buy that at the show. So after I left there, I actually walked across, bought my Metallica East Rutherford shirt, and then but I.
Joe's still on John's dick thing.
You know what? Setup never changes. Anyway, yeah. But yeah. So the girl in the family, she's like, oh man, they got this Injustice for All shirt because we were talking about favorite Metallica albums. Obviously, that one's mine. And she's like, oh, I'm buying this Injustice for All shirt. She's like, feel this texture, and I'm like, fuck, you're convincing me to buy this, And then I had two shirts already. One was for my buddy Greg, who's coming to pick it up this weekend. But I had this other shirt that I thought was like the city shirt, but it wasn't. It's this print that they're going to have for every single city. It's just going to be in different colors. Like they had two at this one, which one was Giants colors, one was Jets colors. And the other one is the one from Montreal is all red, like Canadians colors. But the guy was like, yeah, this will be available at every pop-up shop, through all the tour. Like, oh, so if I really want one, I could just grab one in Detroit in Lions colors. All right, cool. So I ended up buying the Injustice for All t-shirt instead. And then, then I'm told, hey, there's a roller coaster in the mall. Like, there's what? A roller coaster? Let's go on the roller coaster, And it's like, no, I can't. Like, okay, cool, no problem. And then I just start wandering around, right? They have this whole ass Nickelodeon theme park. Like, it's not even just a roller coaster. It's a whole theme park inside the mall. Right next to a whole water park inside the mall. And then on the other side of the mall, there's a ski slope. A year-round ski slope. Inside the mall.
Really?
Like, this place was insane, and there was a Toys R Us.
Nice.
I was like, there's a Toys R Us. I have to find the Toys R Us. And I finally, it's right next to the Nickelodeon theme park. So.
Joe, you want me to come do your dishes? Okay.
Want to do mine? Mine aren't too bad right now. Anyway.
I was the dishwasher, so I think I could do the job.
But yeah, so you know, trying to get home from the shows was a little tricky. Back to the Airbnb, because it was like, you can't really get an Uber out of there. You can, like, there's a spot to get picked up, but like, I was trying to get onto, you know, the Uber, you know, to get my Uber, and it's like not even giving me prices. So I was just like, where's this train go? The guy says, oh, it goes to Secaucus. I said, how do I get to Cliffside Park, New Jersey from here? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, shit. So I just, huh? Laura, Jill's trying to trade Laura's dick for, I don't fucking know. I have no idea what's going on in the chat. But anyway, so I have to, you know, I took the train to Secaucus, and then I'm sitting there waiting for an Uber, you know, like, and then I had White Castle all 3 nights I was in Jersey. All 3 nights had White Castle. The same meal every night.
Did you end up watching SummerSlam?
I did. I watched it while I was doing some editing work on Saturday night.
I was disgusted. About the main event.
You know, let it play out. You know, there's so many people like, oh, why'd he do that? And it's just like, have you not been watching the show?
Yeah.
Like, he's got reason to do it, and I'm sure it'll get explained on Friday, but whatever. Anyway. John, describe a carrot, and you can't use the word orange.
Firm.
There you go.
Pointy.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So anyway, I get the text while Metallica's playing on Sunday night. Hey, so your train is canceled for tomorrow. Give us a call and we'll discuss options. Well, I can't call them and discuss options until I'm on the way back to the Airbnb. So I call. They're like, well, your options are you can wait till Tuesday or you can cancel. I'm like, well, I can't wait till Tuesday, so I guess I'll cancel. So I canceled the. I got to call them back because I actually got cut off in the middle of canceling. But then I got back and it was too late to get a plane because everything was sold out.
Yeah.
And so I ended up finding a bus, and it's through Greyhound. It's a company called Flixbus, and they're like, they're like, oh yeah, this is the shortest ride. You leave at 9:30, you get home at 5 o'clock. Like, hey, that ain't too bad. So I hop on this bus. They got me sat next to the biggest fucking dude on the bus. So I'm just like, you know, up against the armrest, like, hey man, how's it going? He got off though, luckily in like Scranton. So like I just had all this room to myself for a little while.
Did it take a break though?
Huh?
Did it take a break midway home?
Oh yeah. But the problem is it didn't get home. It was supposed to get home at 5. I got back at 7.
Oh shit. Well,
I was pissed.
At least you made it home safe.
Yeah, no, I'm happy I made it home safe. Especially like, you know, with Jill texting me like, dude, are you still alive? And like my other friends being stranded in New York because they couldn't, you know, flights all got grounded because there was tornadoes out there.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah. Like, so like I was glad to be home, but it was also like, dude, I should have been home 2 fucking hours ago. Realistically, I should have been home 3.5 hours before that because fucking, you know, the train, if I would have gotten on the train, I would have been home at 3:30. But the train got canceled because what happened was in Amsterdam, a CSX train went off the rails. And so that's how we got delayed getting in. And that's why my train got canceled going home. Not saying that I wouldn't try the train again. I think I'm literally planning on doing that in December. I want to go see the tree in Rockefeller Center. Like I'm going back in December. Like if I don't go back sooner, because I love New York City. I really do. We'll continue to talk about travel horror stories when we come back. We got to play some music for you right now. And this is from a band that is playing tomorrow night at Mohawk Place. 6:30 p.m. doors, $15 advance, 18 plus with your ID, 16 plus with ID, and a 21 plus guardian. So basically an all ages show. Well, no, 16 and up, but you know, as long as they're with a parent or guardian or whatever. Thursday, August 10th, After Dark presents Driveways with special guests Goalkeeper, The Weather Might Say Otherwise, and The Ways of Tom. Again, 6:30 tomorrow night at Mohawk Place, 15 advance. It doesn't say what the at the door price is. I'm assuming 20, but it doesn't say. But anyway, We're going to play a song from one of those bands. This is The Weather Might Say Otherwise, and this song is called Statute of Frogs on All WNY. Think So Joe Show. The Weather Might Say Otherwise. That's the song called Statute of Frogs. The band The Weather Might Say Otherwise, playing tomorrow night, Mohawk Place, opening up for Driveways After Dark Presents, 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. And speaking of the weather...
Oh, shit, I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, you haven't done this in a while. While you're looking it up, John, do you think Laura is worth more than 10 dimes?
No. I don't want to get rabies.
Ha! He didn't want to get rabies. Yeah, John's going to do the weather, and then we'll talk more about travel horror stories, because I had a bunch of people comment on my post yesterday about travel horror stories. Here's John with the weather.
Hi, I'm John with the weather report on the ThinkSoJoE show. Oh boy, okay. Work with me here. All right. Today is 81 degrees. The lows today would be 59 degrees. Thunderstorms. Yeah. Stay dry out there. I am. Okay, so tomorrow, thunderstorms. So it's going to be wet out there the next 2 days. The highest will be 76 degrees and the lowest will be 64 degrees. But this Friday Friday, definitely going to be sunny and cloudy, but it'll be the highest 60s. It'll be that is 76 degrees and the lowest 60 degrees. And this weekend's going to suck because it's going to be all thunderstorms. So, yeah. Somebody doesn't like us up there. Anyway, next week's is going to be cloudy. Still warm though. But yeah, that's all I got. This has been John with the weather report. Back to you, ThinkSoJoE.
You say it's gonna suck, dude. I love thunderstorms.
Well, I love seeing them. I just don't.
I don't.
Stuck in them.
I don't really got anywhere to go this weekend, so I'm just gonna sit home, sit on the porch, and enjoy the thunderstorms. Man, that sounds like good. Jill's got to go do her dishes because you won't. He said he would.
I'm at the show. I told you I could.
He said he would.
I would.
He would stop on the way home. He would do it.
Yeah. I'll make sure you can see yourself in this fucking dishes.
So, yeah, obviously I had a pretty bad travel day this past weekend. A couple of bad travel days this weekend. Not too bad. I was delayed a total of like 6 hours, so it could have been much, much worse. John, what's your worst travel story?
Taking a bus.
A year ago, last June or July or whatever it was, right? Like,
yeah, taking the bus, being stuck with a broken leg.
Oh man.
Not a broken foot.
At least we didn't get delayed. It sucked that you had to like walk around on crutches the whole time.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody about the Cleveland bus station. Actually, it's because I did this whole like, tell me your worst travel stories, and we'll talk about them on the show. And my buddy JT was talking about the Cleveland bus station, and I was telling him about us being at the Cleveland bus station trying to find Becky's.
Fucking Becky's.
Anyway, trying to find fucking Becky's, and the dude, like, we'd already been told by 2 other people that it's a bad neighborhood.
You want to be out here? Oh, thanks for telling me that.
And then we're walking around the block, and we see this guy, and he's like, "Yo, what y'all looking for?" He points us in the right direction. He's like, "Y'all be careful, man. This is a bad neighborhood. This is a deadly neighborhood."
Okay, hold $10.
And I gave him $20 because I'm just like, yeah, don't kill us. Like, here, yeah. Let me get this up, man. Let me pull up this this status that I shared.
You have a better luck at surviving than I had.
Well, yeah, because you were on crutches. Let's see. I'm looking for. I put a whole ass thing up here. Let's discuss your worst travel stories. My friend Sean says, the one time I drove across country to see WrestleMania, you may know the guy I went with. That was me. That was also a terrible fucking... That was my own damn fault, though. We rented the car from Canada, because I was 21 at the time, and if you rent a car in the U.S. and you're under 23, they charge you per mile. Mm-hmm. And we were driving to Seattle from Buffalo. Well, from Niagara Falls, actually. So we went up to Canada, we rented the car, and came back to get our stuff, and we got MapQuest directions, as was the style at the time, right? And so the directions say, drive up, go over the border, go up over Lake Michigan, and I'm like, dude, we've already been through customs 3 times today. Like, to go get the car, to come back, well, twice. I'm like, I don't want to go through customs again. Like, that just probably will look suspicious, right? Like, it says, go over Lake Michigan and then get on the 90 in Chicago. Dude, the 90's right here. Let's just get on over here. Dumb fucking idea. Because that just adds days to a whole day to your trip. Like, ridiculous. Insane. Just, and by the time we got there late, like, we were supposed to go to WWE Access the night before, and then we got there at like 6 in the morning, the morning of WrestleMania. Realized I forgot my voucher for my hotel, my employee discount. So we ended up just sleeping in the car the whole fucking trip. Had this fucking paycheck that nobody would cash because it was drawn out of HSBC Bank. I'm like, oh, that's the world's local bank. We'll just find some place out west to cash this. We got to Rockford, Illinois, got off the interstate, get down, go to a gas station, like, hey, man, can you tell me where the nearest HSBC bank is? He's like, I never heard of that bank. Called HSBC. They're like, oh, we don't have any branches west of Chicago. I'm like, aren't you the world's local bank? does the world end in Chicago? Like where the hell are you, right? Like, so we ended up calling KeyBank because I knew my mom had an account. And KeyBank was like, yeah, what are you coming to Seattle for? Because their main headquarters is right outside of Seattle. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, come on in, we'll cash it for you, no problem. So we camp out in a parking lot at a dentist office in Kent, Washington. We sleep for the night after WrestleMania. We get up and we go to, we drive up to the KeyBank, to the KeyBank in Kent, Washington, which is like their main branch. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh yeah, we just need 2 forms of ID. So I'm like, all right, I got my social security card and I got my, my driver's license. Oh, we can't take your social security card. Do you have like a credit card? I'm like, I have a debit card. They're like, we can't take that. It needs to be an actual credit card. Like, great. What can I do? They're like, well, you could open an account. I'm like, all right, how do I do that? They're like, just go over, talk to the lady over there. Like, all right. So we go over to where you start the account. We sit down, we start talking to the lady, and she says, okay, I just need 2 forms of ID. Which was the problem. I don't have 2 forms of ID, clearly, that you'll accept, So we wound up finding a little tiny hole in the wall place, like just a little check cashing place on the side of the road somewhere. And they were like, they weren't going to do it, but the manager finally came over. He's like, look, just take a copy of their ID, cash the check. If there's a problem, we'll take care of it. So I finally got that check cashed, and thank God, because we got home with 0 money. And that was after my mom wired me money too. So that was like a terrible trip. But that was, my friend said that was one of his worst travel experiences. Jokingly, though, he didn't mean, he said, honestly, catching the train the year before to WrestleMania 18 was worse. From touring people's backyards, which is a joke that was on a show called Greg the Bunny that we saw the episode of as soon as we got back from there, taking the train to Toronto. From touring poor people's backyards to being late, then stuck at the border coming home for nearly an hour because someone was using a family member's ID or some stupid crap. But the cops actually directed them to an all-night diner because they had money, just nowhere to go while they waited for the train home. I had a hotel at the time, so I stayed the night in the hotel and then got the train home the next morning. But this one time I drove to New York City. This is Michael Cerrito, plays horns in a bunch of bands around here. One time I drove up to New York City on a random unplanned trip and stayed in a hostel in Harlem while my car was stuck in the Bronx, and my roommates were 4 drunk French people, 2 topless lesbians, 2 gay dudes in Speedos, playing their version of tag. 2 drunk angry Russians and 2 other people from Jersey, and the hostel was blasting club music till 3:30 to 4:30 a.m. in the morning. In hindsight, it was entertaining to see a weird sex show go on from the French people. The Russians got pissed at everyone and tried to throw us out. My friend Jay, my friend Jason Wright, not the Jason Wright you're thinking of, from not on the Cinder Jason Wright. Currently experiencing one right now due to weather in and around New York City. This was yesterday. His daughter and he flew 8 hours from Manila to Abu Dhabi and another 14 from Abu Dhabi to New York. Spent 2 hours on the tarmac before getting kicked back to the gate. Currently at T5 JFK. Yeah, buy our merch. T5 JFK hanging out the gate, not looking good to get home tonight. And then his luggage got lost. They finally got it to him. They got it to him today. His luggage got to him. Actually, this was Monday. He was having trouble getting home. They got his luggage yesterday. JT says, took Greyhound home from Nashville in 2019. Not only was the bus I rode on from Nashville to Buffalo nasty, but all the bus stations from Nashville to Cleveland were filthy, nasty, and filled with shady characters. That was my only time I ever feared for my life. And he said that he was at the Cleveland bus station at 2 a.m. The bathroom was gross, had dried blood in the bathroom sinks. The urinals were filthy, like they'd never been cleaned. There was a couple of shady dudes trying to steal from the vendor there. He didn't want to be in the building, let alone leave it. Rachel Surtees picks in the pit. She says, one time she got to see Neil Young, the Foo Fighters Band of Horses, the Black Keys for free in Central Park in New York City as part of the Global Citizen Festival. Also met some random other early 20-somethings on the street at 2 a.m. who decided to do the Banana Sprite Challenge, which I looked that up. That is, you eat 2 bananas and drink a shit ton of Sprite and try not to throw up or burp. Anyway, she says, these people decided to do the banana Sprite challenge with her high school friends, and it was all fun and games until the one dude started puking blood. It was gnarly, but an all-around awesome time. Another time she drove 6.5 hours to Maryland to meet a person she talked to online for 6 years and had never met, and apparently that turned out to be not fun. What was it? She'd have to get into all the details to reveal why they were the worst. Usually involved her crying about something. Alexandra Elizabeth from Riot Squad says, I was on my way home from the Dominican Republic and I was super sick and I got pulled out of customs to get searched for bombs and actually almost shit myself. My friend Jim Francis crossing the Canadian border, while nearly having heat stroke while someone else was driving. A friend took me to Canada just to get food from Hardee's. This was just because I had never been there. Going there, no problem. There was a nice cool breeze, and going into Canada, the agent thought it was funny that I had never been to Hardee's. On the way back, it was much hotter. My friend's air conditioning didn't work in the car, and it was 90 degrees plus day in August. The cool breeze became arid and hot. I started to feel overheated and started to get dizzy. When we reached the U.S. side of the border, I was not looking too good at all. They decided I was high and asked us to pull over to be searched. My friend's car was a mess, so this took a while. We were asked to wait inside the building for a couple of agents to complete the search. I was happy to find a nearly freezing 60-degree office with a hard plastic, uncomfortable chair. Came back to my senses. They saw this and realized we were telling the truth and gave me a bottle of water. My friend was told he should really clean out his car, and they let us go. Altogether, the cheeseburger and fries were pretty good, actually some of the best I've had in my lifetime. Was it worth the heat stroke and detainment afterwards? Not really sure. At least he paid for my food. Dewey slept in a murder hotel. Blood was all over his sheets. I was like, wait, real blood? Like, that sounds unsanitary, but otherwise, neat. And he said that his wife was disgusted. John Johnson, who's usually in our chat, he says he got stuck for several hours in Fort Wayne, Indiana on his way back to Chicago. There's nothing at the Fort Wayne International Airport, so they sat and did nothing. This was before smartphones, so he was bored off his ass for 5 hours. Paul Burt drove 7 hours from Buffalo to Cincinnati to see Lazy Ass Destroyer and Relic open for Ghost Feeder, Julian K. and the Birthday Massacre. Planned to stay the night at Lazy's house. Lazy was booked by the venue and direct support to the tour package, but when he went on, the tour manager told the venue to cut the mic and tracks and kick him off stage, or the tour was packing up and leaving before performing. Like, what the fuck, man? Lazy's cool. Deanna Andrea of Girls Against Heterotyranny. No, wait, that's not who that is. I don't know. I know this person from somewhere. I don't know where, but anyway. One of the most sweat-inducing experiences I've had is when my band at the time was driving to Vermont and the drummer was driving with an expired license because he lost his wallet and his actual license. We got pulled over by a New York State trooper doing 95 at a 65. There were 3 minorities in the van at that point, and I'm thinking the worst. Well, the drummer was honest with the state trooper, and they let us go with a warning because our drummer was honest with the cop. So that was
Drummers
cool.
are honest.
Yep. Ghetto Steve, speaking of drummers, Ghetto Steve went all the way to Chorzow, Poland to see Rammstein. This is literally this past weekend. Got denied at a Polish restaurant by the old lady that ran it because they didn't speak Polish. She straight up snubbed us at the counter. Then got there at doors open 5 p.m. They didn't even start the show till 9:45, an hour and a half before our bus back to Krakow. Then once the band started, the smell of 60,000 Europeans with their arms up in the air was so bad that it physically made us sick. The worst smell I've ever endured. The BO was like the smell of death. They say you never forget the smell of a dead body. Well, try 60K Europeans under arms all at once.
John is here.
John is here, yes. Steph was texting me while I was on the way home yesterday, Monday rather. She was. We were fucking with each other because I posted, oh look, I'm seeing 5 Flavor Fruit Punch, and she's like, well, I'm seeing much better bands. I'm seeing Godsmack and Stained. And it's like, no, you are not seeing much better bands. You are literally seeing 2000 almost forgotten mid-2000s butt rock at Darien Lake. But at least you're seeing Mixmaster Mike. Hip hop royalty right there. But at least Steve's shirt that said my ass stinks like shit in Polish that I made him was a hit.
Oh, that's good.
He said, many laughs. One guy got a picture. A bartender asked him if he knew what it said. He said he did. This isn't really a horror story, okay? Like this person is I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to, because if she happens to tune into the show, she'll know who she is, but like she kind of comes across as a Karen sometimes, all right?
Oh.
She says, the one and only time I went to New York City, and I get how this is a horror story. I do. I'm not saying that it's not. But the one time I stayed in New York City, the hotel we stayed in had paper-thin walls, and twice during the night someone else tried getting in our room. I don't know if they thought it was their room or if they were just creeps. You remember that scene from Big where he was in the apartment crying because he was scared? Yeah, it felt like that. But it's like, dude, that's hotels for you. The walls are paper-thin. Mm-hmm. People fucking get the wrong rooms. Especially you're in New York. People are fucking drunk. Like, that city never sleeps, man.
Yeah.
She was staying right in Times Square, too, which is a dumb fucking idea. But, you know, I told her, I said, Times Square isn't usually too bad, but maybe, you know, having walked through there late at night, I know it can be, you know, scary a little bit. John, should Laura legally change her name to Karen?
Yes.
The guy who thought Buffalo was New York City. Oh, no, I met plenty of people who thought Buffalo was New York City. No, I met this kid, I was saying Saturday night, and he's from China. He doesn't know the geography of the country, so he's just asking where Buffalo was. Like, he did not know where it was. Travis Raymond, I don't know who that is, but he commented, he says, got stung about 20 times off the coast of the Florida Keys snorkeling while my parents scuba dived under us. Then a tropical storm hit on the way back. The pain was unspeakable. Then my friend Sean says, as I'm sure you're aware, I have had a lifelong issue with time management. Believe me, if you know Sean, that is an understatement. He says, while dating my third girlfriend who lives in Missouri, I missed multiple flights and had to catch later ones because of it. Well, it caught up to me on what turned out to be my final trip to visit her. I was originally supposed to go from Buffalo to Detroit to Springfield, but when I missed that flight, they couldn't give me another one until a week later, which was Buffalo to Detroit to Minneapolis to Springfield. That was bad enough, but it gets better. Made my next flight, and getting to Detroit wasn't a problem, but the flight to Minneapolis was late because the plane coming in from... Where am I? Lost it. Because the plane was coming in from Montreal and was delayed due to weather. We were at least an hour late arriving in Minneapolis, by which point my flight to Springfield had either already taken off or at least left the gate. Northwest Airlines gave me a voucher for a hotel room, so I took a shuttle there, and before I could even get to sleep, I had to ask the front desk to remove a charge from my room because I'd watched a music video on what was apparently a pay channel, which I didn't know until I'd done it, but they were nice about it. I then got 3 fitful hours of sleep before going back to the airport. That was bad enough, but it gets even better. Northwest, instead of putting me on the next flight to Springfield, shifted me to one of its code share partners, in this case Delta, which first flew me to Atlanta before finally getting me to Springfield. My luggage did not make the same trip and did not arrive until either later that day or the next day, and for some reason had been routed through Memphis, according to the tags I found. That wasn't quite the end of it. A few days before I was scheduled to come back, I got a call from Northwest telling me that my flight home no longer existed due to a change in their schedule, so I had to be moved to another flight, which I was thankfully able to shift to the next day so that my girlfriend and I could attend a concert. I ended up staying up afterward and getting no sleep, to her dismay, so that I didn't miss that flight. There you have it. So... Heather Turturro says, my parents had taken us to a family reunion in New Jersey when I was 8 years old in the woods. No bathroom, just an outhouse, no running water, just a well. The one time I got out of the car, a damn tick crawled its way up my thighs. I had no idea until I got to the hotel and went to tinkle. I started screaming. My dad had to come into the bathroom while I was pants down and burn the tick out of my thigh with a match. I have about 5 more nightmare family vacation travels. LOL. And, EJ Kaiser from Final Decline says, I drive on the 33 every day. That's his travel horror story. Oh, I got Jill sent us the skate park stage. All the bands that are playing on the skate park stage with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Music is Art, September 9th.
Yeah,
Riverworks,
boy.
we're playing 5 p.m. skate park stage. That's going to be killer. That might be a travel nightmare, too, because that bridge is closed.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, but besides the bus, John, what was your worst travel experience?
Besides the bus?
Yeah, besides the bus.
Oh, let's see. New York City,
Okay.
a couple of years ago. I would say back, I was like 25, and we decided to my dad wanted to go see a Yankees game.
Okay.
So we took we rented a car.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove all the way up to New York City. And we got pulled over for they thought my dad was speeding, but he wasn't. So but the cop let us go. And then we stayed in New Jersey, and we made it to New York on time, but we got stuck because we end up trying to take a train to we took the bus to the train stop because we were idiots for renting a car, because you don't want to rent a car in New York City. You're going to want to take the bus. So we got stuck in the subway, and it's 100 degrees down there.
Oh, dude.
I'm freaking the fuck out.
That's not an exaggeration.
I mean, I got completely almost naked. It was so bad. So we were down there for an hour. I'm like chugging waters. We're all like fucking dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made it to the Yankees game, all fucking sweaty. It was horrible. My clothes were soaked. But I dried it off though. It was, but and then we ended up getting stranded out there because we didn't have any money to get back to our hotel.
Oh, damn.
So we had to figure something out. So yeah. So me and my brother had enough money to get us back to the hotel. That's about it.
Man, you're not kidding though when you say it's like super hot down in the subway.
Yeah, the subway
like,
sucks, especially because that was in July.
Oh yeah, I mean
It
it
was
was literally just there in
100
August.
degrees.
Yeah, I like you get down there, it is so warm while you're like it's not bad on the train, but like when you're waiting for the train. John's worst travel experience was his ex's pants. Yeah.
Fuck you, Joe.
But when you're waiting for your subway car, it is so unbelievably hot down there.
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad I was wearing a tank top.
I was not. I was wearing, basically what I'm wearing now. But it was
It was
just,
horrible.
Like I'm just like taking my hat off. I'm just like, oh man, it's so damn warm down here. Like I had to make it like it just unbelievably warm. But luckily I didn't have long to wait for the train. But yeah, it's super warm in the subway. Yeah, and I can't wait to go back. I'm gonna try and go back sometime before December, but definitely going back in December.
I'll go to New York, but I'm not staying no subway. I'm not going down there.
Oh man, I that's the best way to get around the city though.
I know, but that was horrible.
Yeah, that's the best way to get around the city though is the subway. Like it's as long as you get on the right car, right? Like,
yeah.
Like Google is your friend because like you didn't have that 10 years ago when you went, but
yeah, train didn't want to go because there was something on the track.
But yeah, Google is your friend because it'll tell you what signs to look for which direction you want to go to. Like I didn't realize that when I got on that first subway train that was going the opposite way of where I wanted to go. But I got there. You know, I made it where I wanted to go. I like as soon as I walked in, I'm like sweaty and I'm like, you know, I paid my $20 to get in the museum. I'm like, dude, you got a bathroom? Like, oh yeah, right around. Like, all right, that way, yeah. All right, cool.
Well, there's like cool like there's bands that play at the subway.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. There was a guy down there, just playing a song. He was really good. You know, people playing music all over that city, man.
They're brave to be down there.
I know, man. It's so hot down there. It's just ridiculous. Laura says we need to play in New York City April 30th because that's when she'll be there.
And she said you took off your hat.
I took off my hat because it was so hot. Like, you know, the heat escapes through your head. You got a hat on, that heat's not escaping.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, dude. Like, I gotta take the hat off. I'm just trying not to like sweat out every single fluid in my body at this point because it is extremely warm down there.
Yeah.
And it was not a cool day that day either. Like it was a pretty nice warm day that day. Which is why I'm like, I have to come back here in the winter. I'm never in New York in the winter. I'm always there in the summer. So like I'm going back to see the Christmas tree. That's my goal. I'm gonna see the tree in December. I'm going back to New York City. But yeah, man, like horrible travel experience. Just trying to, you know, like trying to get, but yeah, waiting for the damn subway. That's a pain in the ass too, because it's hot. I literally was like, walked in the museum, got my ticket, asked where the bathroom was, and went and blew up the bathroom, man. Like, because like everything was just melting, and then I was like, I gotta find a drink. Like I definitely needed to stay hydrated. Like the first thing I did Monday morning coming home, I got to Port Authority Station. I grabbed a orange soda and a water. I'm like, I'm staying the fuck hydrated while I wait for this next couple hours for this bus I got to catch. We got to play some music real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll follow up on that. But this is a song from a band that is playing also tomorrow night. They're playing at Nietzsche's at 8 p.m. $10 advance, 21 plus. So you could probably go see the band we played earlier. The weather might say otherwise. I keep wanting to say may. The weather might say otherwise. They just actually like the stream. So hi guys, good to see you. We played you guys a little bit earlier, but the weather might say otherwise. They're playing a Mohawk Place. You might be able to go catch them, leave, and go to Nietzsche's and see this other band that's playing. I don't even know if this band is actually local to Western New York. I just was like, hey, I don't know this band. I'm going to play this band. It just says they're from the suburbs and they're a ska band. Like, all right, cool. But this band is called Millington. They're playing with Quit Yourself and Pretty in Plaid, who are local bands, at Nietzsche's tomorrow night at 8 p.m., $10 advance, 21 and up, of course, being at Nietzsche's. And this song is by Millington. It's called Welcome Home on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show. That was Millington. They're playing at Nietzsche's tomorrow night. That song was called Welcome Home.
I really like them.
Yeah, I dig them, man. They're playing Nietzsche's tomorrow night, 8 p.m., $10 advance, 21 and
Nice.
up. It doesn't say what the price is at the... All these say, like, here's the price in advance, but they never say what the price is at the door. It's weird. Come on, do better. Anyway.
We're going to have the full band tomorrow.
Yeah, first time in a
Yeah, we're
long
gonna all
time.
carpool.
We're carpooling.
Yeah, all four of us. It's awesome.
Yeah. So you got to load all our gear, too.
My dad's car, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
We'll do good.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Subway was fucking warm. I looked it up. I looked it up during the song break. The FAO Schwartz I went to is not the location that was in Big and Home Alone 2. It's actually, it closed. That one was on Fifth Avenue. This one was at Rockefeller. Was on Rockefeller, like right across from like where they filmed the Today Show. I was texting my mom at the time. I'm like, Ma, you watch the Today Show, right? She says, yeah. I said, look where I am. You know?
Go right to the windows.
Yeah. Well, when I was waiting for my bus home the next day, my mom's like, "Oh, you should like, how far are you from where the Today Show is? You should go over there." I'm like, "Ma, if I didn't have 2 bags, maybe I would." And the weather's kind of shitty, so like I really don't wanna, you know.
Yeah.
But like if I didn't have the 2 bags, I totally would go hang out outside the Today Show, like. But like, yeah, so I just to make sure that I didn't get on the wrong bus again, I kind of left like super early from my Airbnb to try and get to my bus home. And so I'm standing at Port Authority, and there's no place to sit in Port Authority, but I had like 2 hours to kill. So I just found a place to just lean and just watch and observe. And it's kind of crazy to like just sit still in New York City, because that city never stops moving. Like where I was standing, I could see the exit to 8th Avenue, and I could see the train, the escalator that comes down from the bus stops. And I'm just sitting there, just observing. There's never not anybody on the like. There's always people on the escalators. There's always people heading towards that door at 8th Avenue. It never stops moving, and it's just surreal because I was just standing by the New Jersey Transit ticket counter. I'm just leaned up against a half wall, just kind of watching all this happen. And it's just kind of surreal to be like not moving in a place that never stops moving. She wants to know what happened to your H.
It's JON. I don't do the H. Sorry.
I went and hung out with my friend John with an H yesterday, and he was talking to his roommate Jeff, and he's like, "Oh, there's so many J names," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm in a band with another Joe, a John, and a Jill. You can't complain to me about J names." Yes, Laura, I know in the grand scheme of things, every city is always moving because the earth is turning and blah, blah, blah. That's not at all what I meant. Anyway. But yeah, just, you know, they call it the city that never sleeps. You never encounter a time where nobody's out and moving. And it's just, you know, it doesn't even matter where you are in the city. Like I was in the East Village Saturday night, and just it's all people all the time. We're at this bar. I'm hanging out with all these like incredible musicians, right? This one guy is, you know, he's sitting there, he's hyping up his friend. His friend, he's like, what are you looking for?
Nothing.
Oh, I know what you're looking for.
I find him. He's got this down perfectly.
No, I really don't. Anyway, yeah. So the guy, I'm you know, sitting with this guy. He's talking to this Chinese kid that I was telling you about, right? And he's talking about this guy who he's there with, and he's like, oh man, like, yeah, this dude, he ghostwrites for Will.i.am, and he's a great hip hop producer, and he does all this and that and the other thing. And I'm just like, I am sat here with like some of the most amazing musicians I have ever met. And I'm just like, I play punk rock, you know. I met this girl. She was friends with my friend, and she's a musician, and she tours, and she's played Art Park and shit like that. And she's like, You know, and I'm saying this to her, like I'm just meeting all these incredible musicians, and I'm just like, I play punk rock, and she's like, yeah, you do. Like, okay, that makes me feel better. I got a musician who's like, yeah, you play punk rock, and you fucking play that shit, like, you know. But yeah, just incredible, just being with all these amazing musicians. What's up?
I don't know if that door's closed.
Oh, fuck you, dude. You couldn't tell me during a song break. I'm gonna go check.
I forgot about it to now.
I'm gonna go check. Let's see if I get yelled at by a cat.
I'm not sure.
The door is closed. I'm gonna make sure it's fully closed.
Okay.
It looks like it is.
You never know this thing.
It's closed, John.
know.
You did a good job.
All right, I did a good job.
You did a good job.
I love that your face is on the door.
My face is on the door. See? Can't see it now. There. My face is indeed on the door. You're in the ThinkSoJoE digital media studio. Anyway.
So there's no babies coming.
No babies coming. No. John is not taking home kittens.
John locked the door.
Yeah. My daughter calls me while I'm on the tour for the Jim Henson exhibit, right? And she's just like, how do I unlock your door? Because she had a key and she was coming to check on the cats. And then I was like, you just make sure, like, she figured it out. And then she's like, I'm just like, make sure that hall door is closed. And then, like, after I got off the tour, I, like, pulled up the camera on my phone. And I'm just like, okay, good. It's just the boys. She must have got that door closed.
They're just chilling back there.
Yeah. Dude, they were so happy to see me when I got home, especially Snowball. I was so happy to see them because I should have been here hours before I got home. Then I ordered Rock Burger because I'm like, yo, I'm in Buffalo. What can I get that's Buffalo? Like, I'm getting Rock Burger.
We're getting pizza tomorrow.
Dude, we should get Rock Burger on the way. Well, we're probably going a different way because we got to pick up Joe. But
no, we're getting Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut? Nice. I haven't had Pizza Hut in forever.
Yeah, we're having Pizza Hut tomorrow.
Nice. I'm excited for Pizza Hut now.
It's on the way to the chain, so.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I spent 3 days in New Jersey and I ate White Castle every single night. And then I got home and ordered Rock Burger because I didn't have any food in my house or time to go buy food because it was so fucking, late that I got home.
Yeah.
So I went and Instacarted like last night after I got home. And actually, after I got home from hanging out with my friend last night, he calls me up. He's like, hey, you want to go to the record store? I'm like, well, I wasn't planning on leaving the house until like Thursday, but yeah, I'll go to the record store. Let's go. I came home with a Lady Gaga record.
Lady Gaga record.
I got a Lady Gaga record. I got an Eminem record. I got a Culture Club record. And I got the Best of Otis Redding. And I think I got like another record too, but I don't remember what it was.
I'm glad you got the Macho Man record.
I got that. Yeah, I can't believe I finally got this shit. Look at this. Where is it? I came home. I had Moby and Gwen Stefani waiting for me. The single South Side. Yeah, my buddy, Tom Jones hooked me up with this. Not that Tom Jones. Oh, Nelly was the other record I got. Yeah, Nelly was the other record I got. Country Grammar. I saw that. And I was like, I'm buying it. Screw it. John, should Jill be a co-host on the ThinkSoJoE show?
You're damn right.
Yeah, I think so. She's been in the studio before. She's also been on the show with you at your house before. So.
And throwing stuff at me.
Throwing stuff at you, yes. Anyway, yeah, I know. Yeah, I grabbed a bunch of records yesterday. I spent like $125. I really didn't want to, but it was like, shit, I'm here. Like I'm gonna get paid for this huge job relatively soon. So yeah, let me buy some shit. Because my buddy and I, we hang out on Elmwood. We go to the record store and we go to the bookstore and we go and get tacos. And my phone was at 50% when he texted me that he was on his way. I'm like, fuck. Like, luckily, one of my power banks is still fully charged, so I plugged it in and carried it around with me when we went to the places. And I was like, dude, we're hitting ETS first because I haven't eaten all day. So we went, we got our tacos and.
How was Metallica?
Oh, dude, fucking incredible, amazing. And this stage that they're on is fucking huge. There are so many fucking lights. Like we were talking, like I was telling people in New York, like Karina went to school for this shit, right? She went to school to be a lighting director. So like her appreciation for lights, buy our merch, by the way. Her appreciation for lighting has rubbed off on me, and I have a very strong appreciation for lighting.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the 100 level for this show. I am not on the floor, so I get to actually kind of sit back and observe. Right? I am literally sitting back and just watching the entire light show, and I'm sending video to Karina like, look at this. I'm like, this is only about 1/10 of the lights they're using in this video. It was incredible. Just the light show, they got the big towers, right, with the big video walls. The whole thing, the whole rigging is not connected at all to the stadium. It's all connected to these 8 big towers that they have. Which is amazing. Like, it's an amazing feat of engineering what they pulled off for this tour.
Different sets.
Two different sets each night. Yeah. No repeat songs. They played it the first night. They played Shadows Follow off of 72 Seasons. First time they ever played that. And then the second night they played a song off 72 Seasons that they had never played before. So I got to see 2 live debuts this weekend, which is incredible.
No, like older songs or?
Oh yeah. They played off of every album except for like Saint Anger, and they didn't play anything from Saint Anger or Death Magnetic, and they only played one song off of Hardwired,
Sandman?
which was of course they closed with Sandman.
Oh.
Second night, the first night they closed with Master of Puppets. Second night they closed with Sandman. They got the giant inflatable balls back. They didn't have those the last few tours. So, like, they just drop them out of these fucking towers. These fucking balls are bigger than the fucking dudes in the band are. And there's people, like, throwing them around. They end up on stage. It's like stamps on fucking steroids. Right? That's how I described it to Jasmine when she was asking about it. Like, it is fucking stamps on steroids.
How was Pantera?
I only caught the last 3 songs. They sounded like Pantera. Pantera's actually in Darien Lake tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. With Lamb of God, and a lot of people are like, a lot of people were on the fence about it, and I'm like, look, this is what I'll say about Pantera. I just saw them Friday night. I caught the last 3 songs. They sound like Pantera. You know, I'm not advocating to go see Pantera because obviously Phil is has a very problematic past as far as his views, and I saw Katie post this morning like, who's going to Pantera tonight? So I know who bought tickets to the Pantera headlining show, so I know who to get rid of off my friends list. And Dewey tags me. He's like, Joe Kent did. I'm like, no, the fuck I didn't. Like, I wasn't going to buy tickets for Pantera. They just happened to be opening for Metallica. So I got there like as soon as they started playing Walk. And I could hear, like, I was outside the building when they were playing, and I could hear them play, and when I got in, I could hear them play This Love, and when I got to my seat, was when they played Walk, and then they played a couple of more songs, and they sounded like Pantera. I'll give them that. It's not Pantera.
Yeah.
My buddy Jason from The Long Cold Dark called him Pantera-ish.
I didn't know Lamb of God was here.
You would have skipped the show and gone and see Lamb of God and Pantera?
Well, I'll be only there for Lamb of God because I like their drummer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Zach did an awesome job, but he's, it's not Dime.
It's not Dime. And it's not the drummer. So
yeah, I mean, I will probably appreciate finally getting to see their whole set in Detroit, but like, it's I get why you shouldn't see Pantera.
I was never really a big fan of them.
I loved them back in the day. I got a story, man, of how I got into Pantera, which is my buddy Greg, who got me into Metallica, right? And like every time I'm at a Metallica show, he's texting me, and I'm just telling him what the set list is, and he's like, buy me a shirt, buy me, if they got a flag, like, actually I got his flag right here, and his shirt is over here. He's coming to get him over the weekend. He owes me $90. But anyway, when we were in high school, there was this kid, his name was Mike Human, right?
Yeah.
And he thought he was a professional wrestler.
Oh my God.
He came to school with like his title belts that he made himself. They were actual belts,
He
like
came to school with them?
yeah, they're actual like belts to hold your pants up, right? But he had like cardboard plates that he put tin foil on and spray painted gold. They looked actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but you know we used to fuck with this dude all the time. And there was just one day, I don't know what the fuck happened. I threw something at him or something, and he challenged me to bring my 5 best guys down to the YCW on Tuesday, and if you lose, you kiss my feet, right? And this was, this was the late 90s, so the big thing in wrestling was, in the late 90s, in WCW.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. What was the biggest thing? You walk around in the 90s, you're seeing 2 different t-shirts. One is from the WWF, one's from WCW. Which is the one from WCW? You're seeing this all the time. NWO, right.
Or DX.
NWO, well, DX2, okay. Austin 316 was the other one I was thinking. But NWO, right? So we're walking around, the whole thing, we're taking over, and the BWO too was like kind of big at the time.
Say hello to the blue guy.
So I'm joking around. So I'm like, I get my friend Anthony, who's like this fucking tall, and I get my buddy Greg, and we're just gonna go down there and just be like, yeah, okay, dude, what the fuck ever, like. So we walk over there, and we're talking about like, we're just gonna go in and we're gonna take over, and he's like, dude, we're gonna make our entrance to Cowboys from Hell from Pantera, right? And like, I'm like, I don't know that song. So he's like, he puts it on for me and it's like, we're taking over this town. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And then I kind of got into Pantera from there, right? And the culmination of this story is we went over to the dude's house and we're like, we made our own little fucking fake ass belts and shit too, right? We just show up. And they're like, his mom's like, oh, sees the big dude with me, and she goes, Mike, he's doing chores. And then we leave, and we just hear, I told you not to do that wrestling thing in the backyard. So we were fucking with him when we got back to school, because we're like, we win by forfeit, dude. You're supposed to kiss my feet. What the fuck, But we went back to my house. We watched The Simpsons.
Backyard wrestling.
We watched The Simpsons. I can tell you exactly what episode it was. It was the Sherry Bobbins episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if Kirsty's still watching, I told her that I remembered where I was the first time I saw that episode. That was where I was at home with my friends Greg and Anthony. We were watching The Simpsons, and then the Sabres played the Flyers that night. My friend, this kid, I can't remember his name, that we went to school with. He was texting us, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to watch this hockey game. I'd never watched a hockey game before. And he's texting us. He's like, oh, there's a fight. And we turn it on. There's not a fight. It was just a body check, right? But shortly thereafter, there's this huge fucking brawl. And Rob Ray fights all fucking 6 Flyers on the ice, including Garth Snow, the goalie. Just fights everybody.
He's a beast.
And he doesn't even get ejected from the game. He gets 5. Half the other people that were fighting got 10. He fought 6 fucking people, didn't get ejected.
Dude, that's what he was known for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. But I will never forget that day as long as I live. Like, that was just hanging out with my friends Greg and Anthony, and we went over and we fucking, got told, oh, this kid's doing chores. We heard him getting yelled at by his mom, and we went back and watched The Simpsons and fucking hockey, man. It was a fucking great night. Just, let's see. Joe, I just spoke to your boss and you got a promotion. You are now a trainee voiceover artist junior. Sit at home and get paid? No, sit at home and get paid is what happened in WCW. Lanny Poffo infamously got signed to WCW and never worked for him.
Really?
Sat at home and got paid. Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Never once made an appearance for WCW, got paid.
How is that possible? You don't get one match?
WCW had the money. It was Ted Turner's money. They didn't give a fuck. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's the first time I ever heard Pantera was leading up to that. And, I got a couple of their albums over here somewhere. Let's see, we got P. There's P. Where's P?
How was Flavor Fruit Punch?
They were okay. Wasn't my favorite band, you know, but I couldn't get into them. Like, Steph's, you know, commenting on my post. Because she's like, oh, well, I'm seeing these two great bands, Stained and Godsmack. I'm like, yeah, enjoy Aaron Lewis being a conservative douchebag for an hour. Like, like what the fuck, you know? And she's like, oh, Five Finger Death Punch is the best band on that show. I'm like, yeah, that's why 80,000 people are sitting here staring at their phones.
Were they really?
For the most part. I mean, people were starting to get into it, like, towards the, Lanny Poffo had a famous brother. That's why he got paid to sit at home and do nothing. Anyway, yeah, but no, I mean, like, by the end, like, people were starting to get into it, and, like, they seemed like cool dudes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, like, he gave some baseball bats to some kids in the crowd.
Oh, yeah, Ivan's known for that.
Yeah, like, apparently he used to give it to, like, people in recovery. And so, like, he comes across as a cool dude.
He's a good person, though.
I just, you know, it was like, okay, these guys are okay, but, like, can we just get to Metallica? You know? Ice Nine Kills was okay.
Oh, you saw him?
I saw Ice Nine Kills.
Nice.
The only band I entirely missed was Mammoth. And I'm kind of bummed about that, but I'll see them in Detroit in November, so.
I love Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, they're growing on me, man. Every time I see them, it's like, okay. Like, all right, I can get into this. But where I was like so far away from the stage, and the stage is so big, you kind of gotta like, where'd they go? You know, like kind of one of those things. Yeah. Because they're playing like during the day. When Metallica comes on, they got the spotlight on them, so you know where they are. But yeah, Randy Savage forced WCW to create a Hall of Fame just to put his dad in it. That's another true story.
Really?
The WCW Hall of Fame existed just because Randy wanted Angelo Poffa to go in. This is she's not lying about any of this. This is all true. But yeah, no, it was a great show. Metallica was fucking great, and you know, getting to see a couple of new songs that have never been played before. Kirk fucked up Nothing Else Matters, and I didn't even notice. And he's like, oh man, I got to play that intro again for you, East Rutherford. It wasn't good enough for me, so it's not good enough for you. And then he fucking launched right back into it and played it perfectly. Like damn, dude. Like,
it can't be perfect every show.
No, it can't be. But I mean, you know,
usually it's Lars.
That's what people keep saying, man.
Usually it's Lars. Usually it's just saying.
Usually it's James. It's usually James who fucks up. But I have never actually seen Metallica fuck up live. So
who was the guitarist that fucked up, or was it
Kirk? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen Metallica fuck up live. I've seen like videos. I've heard, you know, MP3s.
The drummer.
Back in the day.
I love Lars though.
But no, it's usually James. James usually fucks up words or will occasionally play the wrong song. Like there's a video from a couple of years ago where he starts playing like Fade to Black instead of One, or One instead of Fade to Black, like because it's the exact same fucking notes.
Did Lars get up from his drums, or somebody took over his drum set? I saw some videos.
No, nobody took over his drum set.
Usually it's Kurt messing with his drum set.
Yeah, no, it's
and
like
he takes because I know Lars used to sing one song.
I mean, they used to do that. They don't do that so much anymore. But like the drum sets, he's got 4 of them around the stage, but they're never all on stage. It's all because they raise and they lower. They're on a platform.
Yeah.
So so at any given time, there's one drum set on stage. So and it just kind of goes like clockwise around the stage, or counterclockwise around the stage rather. And it's just like the lights go out, you don't even see it happening. Like the lights come back up, they're all in a different spot of the stage. Stage is fucking huge, man, and just the lights are just incredible. There's not a lot of pyro in this tour. I initially thought it was because like it's, you know, the first night it was supposed to be like thunderstorms and they didn't want to take the chances of, you know, having any kind of mishaps with the pyro. But then I realized like, no, it's because there's no fucking guardrails. If you're on the floor and you're up front, you are against the stage. On either side of it, either the snake pit or on the other side. Like, you are against the stage, so it makes sense why there's not a lot of pyro. There's literally, like, some flames that shoot up during a couple of songs. Fuel being one of them, and the other one being Moth into Flame. And then they have a lot of pyro for like the intro to 1, but you know, it's none of it is near the edge of the stage because they gotta, you gotta take everybody's safety into account. We gotta play some music.
Oh yeah.
And this band is playing on Friday at 9 p.m. at Nietzsche's. Friday, August 11th, 9 p.m. at Nietzsche's. Yace Booking presents The Eaves, Passed Out, and Addison Logan. That's at 9 p.m., $10, 21 and plus, 21 and up at Nietzsche's, of course. This is The Eaves, and this song is called Everything Sucks and I Am God on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE.
Make mistakes as I get older. I know less as well. Mind the time, kill the wine as I get older. Wrestle with myself, waiting on epiphanies. Same mistakes, heaven's sake, thought I was older. Thought I knew myself. Hope to find truly divine as I get older. Reassure myself, don't fuss over me. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. La 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 la. Make mistakes, say mistakes, but now I'm older and I know myself. Terrified, I'm still alive as I get older. I survive myself, waiting on epiphanies. Don't fuss over me. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. La 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 la. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. La 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 la. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God. Everything sucks and I am God.
I forgot to turn off the AC. There it goes. Okay, hey, we're back. All right. That was Everything Sucks and I Am God, the band called The Eaves. They are playing at Nietzsche's on Friday night at 9 p.m., along with Passed Out and Addison Logan. That show presented by Yace Booking. 9 p.m., $10, 21 and up. It was a good song.
Oh, yeah.
I dug it. We saw
That was
the
really good.
we saw the map for Music is Art.
Yeah.
So we're still tucked away in a corner, but we're actually inside the building this year.
We're
So
inside the building. It's not the same rink.
it's we're
Next door.
we're on the back rink, and right by the skate park. So
Well, that's good though.
we get to play and we get to watch people skateboarding and shit, dude. How fucking cool is that?
I'll bring my board. Sorry, Joe.
We're gonna be just like we're gonna be on the stage. We're gonna be watching skateboarders skate. I'm gonna be watching these. Somebody's gonna hit a 900. It's we're gonna have to slide some aubergine emojis into their DMs.
You guys won't let me skate.
I didn't know what an aubergine was until like 10 minutes ago, but that's okay. Anyway,
I know you guys won't let me skateboard before our set.
That's an eggplant. After the set, do whatever the fuck you want, but just be available for October 13th. Anyway. But before the set, no, do not skateboard.
She wouldn't let me do anything dangerous last weekend.
John, name 4 parts of a computer.
Hard drive.
Yes.
Monitor.
Yes.
Mouse.
Yes.
Keyboard.
He did it. He did it, folks. He did it. Nope, wrong one. That one.
Wait, what?
I hit the wrong button. Anyway, I
didn't have to think about it.
I built a computer before last week's show. So.
Yes, he did.
I did. I barely made it back in time to get the show ready. And then we had all those problems. This week...
This better show.
Oh, yeah. This week I rebooted everything before we started. I'm just like, nope, not taking chances. Reboot the computer, reboot the...
I am officially back in the studio.
John is officially back in the studio.
From now on. From
now on. Good. Because those were sometimes a pain in the ass trying to keep you on the... trying to keep you on the air.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck was going on last week. That was just... The XM Priory curse continues. Speaking of XM Priory, October 13th, the Living Brain Dead is coming home. We're coming to Niagara Falls.
Yes.
We haven't played the Evening Star since Brian's last show in front of people. Brian's last show in front of people was at the Evening Star. We opened for Head PE the day before everything shut down. So we're going to come celebrate being back out.
We're doing this for Brian.
We're doing this for Brian. We're going to come celebrate being back out into the, being back out in the world and everything being opened back up and being able to do this shit that we love all over again, man.
Hometown show for me, you and Jill.
Damn right. We're coming home. Living Brain Dead are coming home to Niagara Falls.
Yep. And I'm wearing booty shorts.
John's wearing booty shorts, apparently.
Shane, you better wear booty shorts too.
John, do you think cassettes will make a comeback?
You're damn right. I think Joe's got a couple.
I got quite a few. This is just a handful. There's still a bunch more over here. There's one in my... Didn't I buy one? I didn't buy one yesterday. I bought a CD yesterday, if you could believe that. Look at this. EMF. It's unbelievable.
No shit.
Oh! There goes my Ninja Turtles tape.
Gotta give me the Living Brain Dead booty shorts.
Living Brain... Yeah, order them, man. Well, I mean, just let me know when you want them, and we'll get them at cost for you. But yeah. Yeah, man. I added something to the store. I think I added another flag to the store. Like, it looks like our banners.
What is a CD, Joe?
CD, that's this thing here. This is, it comes in a little case like this, and then you open it up, and it's got this thing in it. It's nice and shiny on the back, and then it plays by lasers. Presidents of the United States of America 2. In my Mach 5, in my Mach 5. Yeah. Yeah, no, I bought a CD at the record store yesterday. I was looking at the tapes and I didn't see anything I wanted. And I don't have a work, like this thing does not work and I need to fix it or I need to find somebody to fix it.
No bees today.
No bees today. Thank you, John Johnson, for your advice last week because that's exactly what I did and that thing just went... I was like, I'm still like very carefully like scooping it into the garbage, like.
And our beetle's still downstairs.
Oh jeez.
It scared the hell out of me.
I warned you about that.
I know. I was doing my clothes. Like, oh shit! Forgot. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead.
There's,
huge.
John killed a gigantic fucking scarab beetle in his basement.
Oh,
told Jill about it.
I didn't squish him or anything.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's in one piece.
Attack.
You told Jill about it. Jill picks it up and she sets it on the cajon. And I'm like, John, remember that is there so you don't scare yourself with it.
And it scared the fuck out of me.
And he forgot it was there.
I almost shit myself.
Joe, do you want to see something horrible? Look at the shiny side of the CD. Ha, funny. Anyway.
Has this been Laura in the chat?
Yeah, I don't know where everybody
Still.
is, man. People are watching. The weather might say otherwise. Like the video. Brandon Neal from Bastard liked the my share of the video. So I don't know. I don't know where everybody is.
We do have fans, though.
We do.
I went to Mohawk, and everybody knew me. Like, John. What's up?
Yeah.
So it's like somebody, I don't even know who the hell you are, but what's up?
Yeah. We are totally the Wayne and Garth of Buffalo. We have reached that status of like,
I'm Garth, he's Wayne.
We walk into a club and everybody's like, "Hey, ThinkSoJoE show, party time, excellent."
Ow!
Hey, you're that party time guy from the internet.
No.
Anyway,
That's what you gotta say. No. That's what Wayne says.
so I'm in New York and I'm in Jersey. I'm outside the stadium. I'm hanging out with a dude from Binghamton, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and we're talking like, he's like, yeah, go Bills. I'm like, nah, I'm a 49ers fan. He's, dude, me too. And I'm like, dude, do you hate it when you go to shows and all the Bills fans start doing that stupid Isley Brothers song?
Can't escape this shit.
He goes, yeah, man, I got a buddy who totally does that every show. Next thing I know, he's handing me his phone. His buddy is on the phone and going, hey. I'm like, God damn it.
Click
Here's your
it.
phone back.
Woo!
Like, I'm in fucking I am hundreds of miles away and I can't escape this bullshit.
You heard Nature Boy. Woo!
Fuck. Yeah. Anyway,
He's not here.
right?
He's a child molester.
He's not a child molester. Don't go that far. But
Oh, what did he do?
he allegedly
Plane.
forced a flight attendant to touch his genitals, but allegedly, we got to say that there was nothing ever proven. So, but that's the story she tells. So
We don't know. We'll never know.
Anyway, right, exactly. I mean, the story up until that point is just Ric Flair being Ric Flair, but then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he did that? Like, that's horrible. But obviously, people have stopped giving too much of a shit about it after all this time, after, a year or two since that episode aired of Dark Side. But, but yeah, man, dude just played the fucking, like, sang the Bills shout song over the fucking phone to me. I'm like, God damn it, man.
Take your phone back.
Like, I can't escape this fucking thing.
Not anywhere.
Like, I need to go further than fucking New York. But I actually met some people from New York. It was crazy. Like, I never meet people. Like, the joke was, like, I didn't meet anybody from San Francisco when I was in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I met people from San Francisco when I was in Las Vegas. But I didn't meet anybody from Vegas when I was in Vegas.
So there's there people selling tickets out on the street and selling, like, fake merch?
Definitely the fake merch. I didn't see anybody trying to sell tickets. Definitely the fake merch, which the last time I said bootleg merch, and the gentleman corrected me. He said it's unauthorized merch. That was in Buffalo, where we saw the guy. We're just like, hey, man, we were telling the story about when we bought bootleg T-shirts back in '98 when we saw him at Darien Lake, right? And the guy's like, no, not bootleg, unauthorized. Like, all right, cool. Gotcha.
How was the prices on T-shirts?
45.
45?
45.
Well, that explains.
So
Metallica.
I bought $90 worth of T-shirts for myself.
Is that a new one?
This is the official East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is actually the official shirt for Sunday night. I didn't get the Friday night shirt, which is I think exactly the same as this one, except it has Friday's date on the back of it instead of Sunday's. So it's like, why am I going to buy two of the same T-shirt? But yeah, this is the official tour shirt. The other one I got was at the pop-up store. It was this nice, like, sandstone-looking and Justice for All T-shirt. Like I said, there's this girl who I was hanging out with her and her family in the store. She was like buying the shirt, and she's like, "Oh, you said this is your favorite album. Look at this shirt. Feel this shirt. Like, this shirt is so nice." I'm like, you know what? Fucking, I'm buying that shirt. So, and then I got my buddy Greg a T-shirt. I got him. This one was at the pop-up store at the mall. This is. It's got the skull on it. He said, "Get me something with skulls." It's got a skull on the front, and on the back, it's got skulls, and it's got all the tour dates from this tour. So maybe I'll buy myself one when I'm in Detroit. I don't know. But this is it's a cool looking shirt. My buddy Greg, hey man, buy me a shirt while you're there if you can. Let me know what the prices are like. Get me something, I'm like, all right, cool, man. I got you. So he's gonna meet up with me this weekend, bring me $90 to pay for that and the flag that I bought him. Cause like, oh, get me a flag, cause he's got the old like fabric posters on the wall like I used to have back in the day. And so we're walking through the store and I happened to notice that they had an official. He was like, get me a 72 Seasons flag if they got it. And this thing's actually pretty fucking big. But I got him officially the 72 Seasons Metallica flag here. So that was another $45. So he owes me $90. Laura wants fake Living Brain Dead merch. I wear fake Living Brain Dead merch on stage. So
Even the pants.
Even pants. Yeah, the pants. I gotta get new pants, man. That fucking logo's like starting to fall apart on those. Trying to fold this up the way it was. We got new flags, by the way, in the Living Brain Dead merch store.
Yes. Yes. Really.
They are based on our new banners.
Yep, we're going to be rocking our new banners. Music is art.
Yeah, I got the banner. I'll show you those banners before you leave, too. I'll show you one of them. That way you don't got to sit there and wait for me to set up both of them. But, yeah, I opened up one yesterday. I was like, yo, these are so cool. I can't wait to have them on stage. Like, yeah, we got new banners. We're ready, man.
Oh, yeah.
We are ready. Fake flags? No, we don't have fake flags. We have real flags on the show on the site.
We're not fake.
Yeah, we got the real. We got flags that are like literally the same exact artwork as on the banner. Like I just took the artwork I sent to the banner company and I just dragged it into the store. So, which I want to get a couple of those, man. Those look so cool. Just get a couple to hang on the wall here. I got the other ones in my bag over here. The old school one that's based on the old banner. But yeah, man. No, such a great time I had this weekend, man. Like travel issues aside, can't wait to. I was like, as much as I wanted to come home, and I was like looking forward to getting on the bus and coming home. I was like, I just want to stay. I want to hang out in New York. I'm gonna go catch a Rangers game, like me and my buddy Brandon are supposed to go catch a Rangers game out there, so eventually we'll do that too. But I definitely am planning to go back for Christmas, see the tree and all that. It's like I said, I've never been there in the winter, so I never got to really see it like that. But yeah, man, that city is just amazing to be in. Just kind of walking around, and I found a pizza place. I got some New York City pizza. It wasn't that good. The place I got it from. It was like Two Brothers Pizza, and it was like they have a sign, right? It says 2 slices and a pop for $3.99. What it doesn't say on the sign is that they mean 2 cheese slices.
You should have wanted to go see the Suit Nazi. No soup for you.
Yeah. But I grabbed 2 slices of like barbecue chicken pizza and a can of root beer, and it was like, oh, it's $13. Like your sign says 3. Like, oh, I see, it says cheese. Never mind. Like, yeah, okay, here you go. You guys already heated it up for me and everything. I got the money. Don't worry about it. Like, but yeah, do you know Twitter changed its name to X? Yes, I did know that. And to answer your question from earlier, yes, JT is still on X. Anyway.
Are we live and
We are not.
No, we're not?
I forgot.
Oh.
I was like, I'm going to hit this button today, and then I didn't. So.
It's all good.
No, we're live on Twitter. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We are not live on LWNY.
Next Friday will be.
And then I'll upload the last 2 episodes of the show to 716 Bands and all the podcast streaming services. So, because I forgot to do it last week, and by the time I realized, like, oh shit, I'm already on this train to New York. Can't do it now because it's on the other computer. But yeah. Yeah, man, I can't wait for Music is Art, September 9th. We're gonna do a show. That's a month from today, actually.
Damn.
Obviously, we'll do the week of the show. We'll do our Music is Art showcase as usual. We're playing October 13th over at the Evening Star with our boys XM Priory. I actually got to talk to Nick tonight. We're trying to figure out who's going to open that show.
Not us.
Well, no, we're not. We're definitely not opening. We're direct support to XM Priory, but yeah. And then we're November 18th. We're hoping to have a show. We'll hopefully have an announcement on that sometime relatively soon.
Hoping they put a single out.
Hoping to put a 3-song EP out actually. Also, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah. No, we got cool shit coming up.
Big things happening.
Big things. I want to reach out to Robbie Takehack and see if I could get him on the show for that Music is Art special we always do. Because we do it every single year. It usually ends up happening not on a Wednesday because we always end up having something going on that Wednesday. It doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. It looks like it will be on Wednesday this year.
Hey.
But we never cancel out, outright cancel that week. We always reschedule just to kind of be like, all right, well, we're going to this thing on Wednesday, but we want to promote this thing this week, So we always do a Music is Art showcase. That'll be the Wednesday before Music is Art. I'm gonna reach out to Robbie, I think, in the next few days and see if that would be something he'd be interested in, because I know he's always got tons of media shit going on around that time. I also know he's out playing with the Goo Goo Dolls because they played in New York on Saturday night.
John is busy. Yes, I'm busy.
She says you're busy next week. It's a Joe show, a solo show.
I guess I'm busy next week. Not.
Yeah. But yeah, man, the travel to and from New York sucked. Getting lost in Hackensack kind of sucked a little bit, but for the most part,
Figured it out though.
I got it figured out. It was a great trip. I was hanging out, same two ladies the same night, or same two ladies back-to-back nights, Friday and Sunday, waiting for Ubers together. Because we ended up sitting together on the train to Secaucus, away from the stadium, right? And we're just we don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing when we get there. So we're sitting there just trying to call Ubers and Lyfts or whatever. And we were sitting there in the wrong spot. And we finally realized, we've been sitting here for this long. We have not seen a single car go by. And we realized, oh shit, no, they got it blocked off down the street there. We should go up there. So we walked over to where they had it blocked off, and we finally got our Ubers and Lyfts or whatever. And I bumped into them again as we were waiting for Ubers and Lyfts in the same spot on Sunday. No idea what their names are. They're from Tampa. I know that much. We had a great conversation, just great chat about
I had family in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. I posted a thing Sunday, maybe Monday, I don't know, where I said this is my favorite thing in the world is getting to be with 80,000 of my closest family members. And it really is, you know what I mean? I've said it before where, I don't know who the fuck the guy actually, the dude that was sat next to me on Sunday night, his name was Jimmy, because James was, one of the bands was take this time to turn to the person next to you and shake their hand and introduce yourself. So I met Jimmy, who was sitting next to me. But anyway.
I'm moving to Washington.
There's this girl, so it's basically the same people around you on both nights of this show, right? If you're in the seats, this girl in front of me was definitely in her teens, and Friday night was definitely not wearing an outfit that she was wearing when she left the house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? She very open back and but the next night. And she was with two dudes her age, right? Mm-hmm. Sunday night, she's still in front of me, but she's with her parents, and she's definitely got a full-ass T-shirt on. It's aha. She definitely did not leave the house with that outfit on the other night. But yeah, it was but the dude that was sat next to me Sunday night, Jimmy, was not the dude that was him and his friend switched seats for Sunday night because it was his friend that was sitting next to me Friday night. Mm-hmm. But like, we're rocking out, we're singing all the songs, we're just having a good time, and we don't know each other's names, but we are best fucking friends for 3 fucking hours, and it's just, and that's how it's been. That's how my experience has been every single city I've gone to see Metallica in. I don't know who these people are. I'm never going to see them again, but we are best friends for the duration of this show. And that's what I love, man. It is literally going to hang out with 80,000 of my closest family members. You are in this building. There's people from all over the world. We should not be in the same country, let alone under the same roof. And we're all here. We're all singing the same songs. We're all enjoying the same band. We're all here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to see the greatest fucking band in the world do what they do best.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, I will, till the end of time, fucking travel to see Metallica if I can. And I'm so excited for fucking November for Detroit. I'm so trying to go to fucking Boston next year. Because I went with The Long Cold Dark to Boston and saw them in 2017 or 2018, one of the two. And I'd really love to like go hang out with those guys again and go to a show and go to Boston. And like I'm half tempted to go to Montreal this weekend, but I can't. I don't have the money. Like I do, but I have to pay rent and I have to pay my credit card bills and like I can't afford to go.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's amazing, and I am so glad that I started doing this back in 2021 when I went to those those 40th anniversary shows, and like I will just keep doing this, and I will keep loving every single city I go to and every single person I meet and every single I may not learn their names. We may be friends for 5 minutes. We may be friends for 3 hours. We're friends for that duration of time. May never see each other again, but we are family. We're bonded. You know what I mean? And that is super important to me, and that means so much to me being a part of the Metallica family, and getting to hang out with all these wonderful people and see all these wonderful, amazing places like San Francisco and Las Vegas and New York and Pittsburgh and Detroit coming up in November and all that. Like, I can't wait to do it all again.
Yeah.
But before we get there, there's a show happening this Sunday night at Mohawk Place. Good Sleepy from Massachusetts is coming through Buffalo on tour with support from Precious Love, Oscar's Cash, and We Were Blank. That's at Mohawk Place, 47 East Mohawk Street in Buffalo, 14215. Doors at 7 p.m., music at 8 p.m. It's 18 plus, $10 at the door. There is no pre-sale. And this is our dear friends, We Were Blank. Hopefully, if I go to this show, I won't be trying to buy a guitar off of somebody for $600, like I did the last time I saw them. This is We Were Blank. This song is called Sweaty to Say the Least, which is what we both were in the New York City subway, apparently. And this is We Were Blank on all WNY Think So Joe show. See you Sunday night. We'll see you next week.
This one time, I was seeing this girl, and 2 weeks in, she brought her mom to breakfast. I got nervous and anxious and quiet, and she noticed. So she asked, "Why aren't you talking?" And so I started talking. And she broke up with me on the drive home. I don't know what I said, but I definitely said it. Oh my God, I'm overthinking again. Oh my God, I'm overthinking again. Shut up, it's not your turn to talk. Shut up, when will you learn that it's not always about you, not always about you. Shut up, it's not your turn to talk. Shut up, when will you learn that it's not always about you, not always about you. So a few years ago, I was at my brother's graduation, and I ran into my ex-girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, unrequited kind of love, because, well, I fucked it up. And I had so many things left to say to her, and luckily I ran into her on the staircase, and she asked me how I've been, and I said,